Thank you everyone for coming here this evening for our first speaker series of 2024. Very excited to have you all here. We are Virgo Labs, and so we actually have a cohort that's starting in February. So it's very exciting to see this is going to be the last speaker series before we get into our live cohort with our companies that will be here from February through June. So we hope that you'll join us for some of the exciting activities to come. For those of you who have not attended the Virgo Lab Speaker Series in the past, Virgo Lab Speaker Series is an event that focuses on founders and leaders, how they share advice on how they overcame challenges, capitalize on their target market, and develop their product, providing insight for your own products and processes. For more information, you can find us at virgolabs.org under our Speaker Series tab. I'd like to thank our sponsors for this evening's conversation. This evening's presentation is presented by Virgo Labs and is sponsored by the Harold Alphon Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College, Valley Beverage, and Bricks Co-working and Innovation Space. In addition, this conversation is being recorded and will be available for later viewing on our YouTube channel. This evening's conversation is presented by Emily Brackett of Visible Logic. In this speaker series, Emily will discuss Branding Compass, a self-guided platform designed to empower entrepreneurs with expert guidance, valuable suggestions, and clear instructions to elevate the image of their business. I'll turn it over to Emily.
Great, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily. I'm not on camera in any way that I can move around. I mean, it's okay to move around. I understand I'm on camera,
Yes,
but I can move around. Okay, great. So I'll just feel more comfortable starting standing at least, and then I'll sit down behind the computer when I get there. But so I have owned Visible Logic, which is a branding and marketing firm in Portland for more than 20 years. We do brand strategy, we do naming, logo design, website design, content marketing, digital marketing. But what I recognized was that a lot of people just can't or won't or whatever with the branding. They don't have the funds for it. They get really stuck with the process when they try to do it on their own. And I felt like there was this opportunity in the market to serve small business owners, solopreneurs, startups who weren't ready to hire a firm like Visible Logic, but really needed to think clearly about their branding. So that's where I got the idea for Branding Compass, recognizing this need in the marketplace. So I'm going to walk you through the tool, and what it is it's a mix of, we call it like the online discovery workbook, and then you get customized reports that are emailed to you. So I have a couple different reports here that each one is unique, because each report that is generated is unique. You can take it and look at it and pass it around. So we'll pass these around. We'll give you all one at this end. You can look at it. So what happens is you go through and you answer questions about your business. These are probably the same questions that if you work with a branding firm, they would go through with you. If you were to hire a marketing firm, they would need you to answer these questions. You go through Virgo Labs, these are the same things they're going to try to have you answer about your business, about your client, what makes you special, etc. So this puts it together in an online platform for you to do that. And it's $49 to use for one business, and you can just get there. You have the license forever to just go back and continue to work on it. Some people go through it, blast through it. They kind of know everything, and you can probably start going and getting recommendations on fonts, colors, design suggestions in as little as 5 to 10 minutes. It's going to help you write like a unique value proposition. It's going to give you recommendations on the best messaging to use, the best words, like words to use, words to avoid, how to write those messages. So those might be something that ends up as copy on your website. It also will help you build an ideal client profile and, like a highly visual format. You'll see in there these examples. So first of all, so the best way to learn about the tool is we're going to pretend that we're a business owner going through it. If somebody has a business and they would like to be the guinea pig, we could do that. Anyone interested in having, okay, pitch your ideas, and I'll tell you who'd be the easiest fit for. Tell me about your business.
My business is the New England Karting Challenge. I am a racing series for kids and kids at heart throughout tracks in the northeastern United States. And I basically help people go fast and get faster.
Okay, great.
Hey, go with this.
Go with it. But you also raised your hand.
I'm opening up a coffee house
Uh-huh,
soon, and I'd like to get the word out and, you know,
yeah,
see if my little girl is
okay.
as well. And
Okay, so let me tell you, the platform will definitely work for nearly any kind of business. The one route that it does not work well for is if you have a marketplace business. If you're not familiar with that, like Airbnb is the classic example. Airbnb is trying to find guests to stay in houses, and they're also trying to find homeowners to rent out their houses. So they have, you know, what the homeowner wants to earn revenue is very different than what the person who wants to go on vacation. So that's called a marketplace business. Like they have two sides, they have to market both of them. That's not a great fit for this, but all those companies that you both mentioned and the majority of businesses are out there. So we can go with karting if you want.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna sit down now. So, you know, it's all web-based. You go to brandingcompass.com, go to get started, and you're gonna start here. So what is the name of your business?
New England Karting Challenge
England Karting Challenge, is that right? Can you,
with a K.
with a K, okay. And your name?
My name is Jim.
Jim. Do you wanna give your email and have the reports come to you?
Of course.
Okay.
It's info@nekc.net.
.net. Can you read that? Am I doing that right? nekc.net, great. Okay, so you're probably gonna get two because, or Sabrina, you could put your own email in.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
So then, just so you, it will just, might be easier if you don't, yeah. Okay, so everything is saved when you work along, so anytime if you're like, hey, I'm tired of this, you can, you know, just close the window. You're gonna be emailed, you'll get an email momentarily with a link back to Branding Compass, so you can do that. So are you startup, early stage, or established?
I'm finishing one season and going to my second, and I have about 150 active customers. So where would you put me?
I would say probably early stage. You have some customers, but you're still figuring out a lot of things. Okay. And so would you say you're an experience as a business? Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty much a sports league that's designed to get people into competitive racing.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to start with basics here. So your core product or service is?
I'm renting racetracks, and I'm selling experience, selling racing wheel to wheel with all your friends going 70 miles an hour.
Okay, so the core is. So what are you driving? Are they driving a car, a go-kart? What are they driving?
It's a competition go-kart.
Okay, so I'm gonna say go-kart racing. Okay, so I don't know if people can see this, but you know, you wanna be really, this is like, keep it simple. Don't, you know, like, what is the answer in just a few words here? Go-kart racing, okay? So we're gonna go on. So this gives you an outline of what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the basic information, brand characteristics. We're gonna look at your competitors. We're gonna build an ideal client profile. We're gonna write the unique value proposition. I know we're gonna do this. We're gonna skim and skip here tonight so that you get a taste of it without getting too bogged down. But this is just, you know, understand like what to expect coming forward. So you don't have a product, right? There's not like if you haven't like selling like a bag or anything like that, right?
No, but we are also a go-kart shop, and we're also developing electric powertrains.
Okay.
So we're gonna be selling products that will be necessary to use in racing,
Yep.
but the actual league itself is not a physical product.
Yeah, exactly. And if you just sell other people's products, you don't need to answer this, but there's no right or wrong. Like if you feel like the product that is part of your brand, you can go ahead and answer these. It's not, you're obviously definitely a service-based business, like that's probably the number one thing. So you're given here, adjectives to describe, what, like fast, fun, entertaining. What else jumps out to you?
Empowering, because we do, our market is primarily beginners who've always wanted to race but never could.
Nice,
And we pair them with mentors, we help them with
Mentors.
racecraft and everything, so it is empowering.
great.
Um,
Think we have mentoring. Interactive.
certainly,
So we'll go with this for now. Again, you can you'll have time. Is the physical space part of the experience in your case? Again, it's really up to you, like coffee shop, 100% it is. You know, if you're a lawyer or an accountant, sure, some of your clients probably come to you and that might be part of it, but it is, again, it's really your decision. If you feel like, you know, like here, like Dear Go Labs, I think like the physical experience is part of it, so.
in my case, it isn't because we rent other people's
Okay.
tracks.
Perfect, okay. And same thing here, if you are a virtual, digital, or online business, you know, if you are completely e-commerce website, absolutely you're gonna say this. But a lot of people, your website, you might think is very, very, very important, and other people, it's more informational, like a brochure, then that's really not, you're not really an online business. I'm guessing no for you?
I mean, most of our business is conducted, digitally.
Yeah.
But
Do you feel like the brand should start like right then when somebody comes to the website and like it's a very unique website and part of the brand experience?
our website very much, it is a part of that. It is very unique. It's very easy to get information from, so.
Okay, so tell us about the benefits of your website and, you know, what's it like?
It's easy, it's colorful, it's informative. But it's informative without choking you with information like a lot of these do.
Okay,
It's very, I'd say results driven, it's new and different. A lot of what we're doing is we're bucking a lot of trends in the motorsports industry. And we're doing that by being more customer centric.
okay. Definitely.
Is it fun?
Yeah, is the website fun?
It's okay.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, then, you know, when you just think about your brand, your, like, the attributes of it, the personality, what are words that you want to come to mind? Maybe that haven't come to mind yet.
It's adventurous, it's fun, it's innovative, it's veteran owned. I would say, well, I don't know if nurturing is right, because we basically, we take a lot of new racers and we develop
That's okay, one
You know,
good for now, that's
them.
okay.
We take them in and show them everything.
Okay, so then, this is really the moment of truth where you're like, okay, we kind of came up with a whole lot of adjectives, but what are really the top ones? Because when you see this, you might feel like, you know, fun and entertaining, that's kind of repetitive, I don't need to say both of them, but you know, this is where you really want to choose your top ones and rank them.
Okay, so in my case, definitely fast and fun. New and different. Mentoring, absolutely. And, I mean, I'm trying to figure between empowering or entertaining.
Pretty good stuff.
You can do up to 7, that's fine.
Yeah, okay, so we'll do empowering, entertaining, and, innovative.
Okay, great.
Because we do employ a lot of concepts that are first to the industry, so
Mhm.
we're doing a lot of things, a lot of more stuff.
Okay, so I realized I probably shouldn't have put your email address in here because now I'm not going to pull up the report, but I'll pull up a different report. That's okay. Or you have reports around you. Do you have a logo yet?
We do.
Do you like it? Or you like, yes, and I don't wanna change it, or I'm not sure if it's right for my brand.
If I was going to change my logo, I'd do it with somebody else's money, because I branded my entire life with that logo.
Yeah, so you're not
So I
gonna
really
change
don't
it.
want to change it.
Okay, that's okay. We get into a little bit more on logo stuff if you say you know, you're open to talking about logo. That's okay, we don't wanna extend it. So, normally now, so this is where we've got enough stuff, we can start sending you these recommendations. So, you're gonna get colors, fonts, design options. They're all in those sample reports. They're gonna be customized to your brand, to your situation. And I just have the secret button here, which is not gonna be here when you go through it. Normally, I gotta fill this out, 'cause it's gonna just. Do that, and it should just say 0 and keep going. So normally that's the paywall, it's $49 to do unlimited. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna start looking at is your competition. Now, I feel like maybe it would help if I pull up a report. Give me 1 second here. Get to see behind the scenes here. I'll bring up one of the ones that are on there just so you can see. Okay. So, landing in Jim's email box at any moment is something like this. It's going to have determined your top 3 brand traits. In this case, this is obviously not based on what he said. Human, warm, inspiring, richly textured. It's going to explain, like, what does that mean as a brand? Like, how would you express that visually? And then these are other brands with similar characteristics. Sorry, I really should have probably done my own email address, because now you're like, that doesn't look like what he said at all. Anyway, so you're gonna see some brands, and it's like a gut check of like, wow, I said these things about my brand, but this looks like how I want to be. Or you might be like, this is not what I want to be. And it's a chance to go back to the workbook and maybe rethink how you describe yourself and how you prioritize those brand traits. Then we get into the specifics of typography, and we give recommendations on fonts. They're all Google fonts, so they're free and available to everybody to use on your website and in print. We give recommendations on colors. These are put into palettes, but they can be, you know, you can pick and choose. There's a hex number for each one. And then we get into a lot of just like, what is it? How would you design a brand to reinforce the brand traits that you have said? So, you know, in your case, we're going to see a lot of things about fun and high energy, and how do you put that into a brand? In this case, this person has very different, it's like human and warm. So these are some sample images that would be of a style that would be appropriate for them. And then we're gonna get into the competition. So I'm not gonna do this for just to save time, but you can put in your competitors, and then you have a snapshot of them on, you know, so you can really see, oh gosh, they all use green, they all use blue, they all, you know, use a lot of typography, they use a lot of photography, and you can really see what might make you stand out, what might, maybe you feel like, gosh, there's a really high quality, I need to have a really great website because all of my competitors do. So it's just like a snapshot right there. So if you put that in here, it'll bring in those for you. So what's more important here is like, what sets you apart? So thinking about the competitors that hopefully you've now taken some time to list, maybe do a little research. What are some of the things that makes you better and different than your competitors?
A few things that separate us from our direct and indirect competitors. First, we are a racer-centric organization. Most promoters tend to treat racers.
So can you choose from these lists of words?
Better customer service, definitely. I would say we're certainly more fun. Just because our culture, we're a very culture forward organization, was definitely more welcoming.
Do I have that on here?
5 down, 6 down, and 1 5.
Thank you.
More welcoming, less stressful.
Bottom left.
And, better reputation. And, we're also lower cost than our direct competitor. And a lot of the decisions that we make are about creating more value to the racer.
Okay, better value. Okay, great. So you're gonna go here, same thing, you're gonna rank these.
I would say for us, the top one's definitely better customer service. Less stressful. More welcoming. More fun. And better reputation.
Okay, so we've got these first 3 sections done. We're gonna work on ideal client profile. We're not gonna do the whole thing, because again, I think let's give you a taste of it. But if we get the essentials, it'll start being able to give you recommendations for writing. So, do you sell a product that's local to your area?
For now.
For now, okay, we're gonna say for now, and that is, what's your area?
New England.
Okay. Great. So people do this personally, right? You don't, this isn't like a corporate thing, right?
No, I mean, we have, some of our customers are car shops
Sure.
that have an economic interest that basically sell or rent to racers. But it's,
Mostly males or females or equally?
mostly men.
Okay. Age that they are?
We typically fall into 2 different customer groups. Our first target market are usually children 11 to 18. And then we also have folks that usually start in their late 20s or early 30s.
Okay, so just so you know, you can create 2 different ideal client profiles with Branding Compass. So we'll start with one and do it like with that in mind, that person in mind, and then we're obviously not gonna do it here tonight, but you can do a second one, okay? So we'll do children 11 to 18. So again, you're gonna be asked a lot of questions here that you really should know the answer to, right? About who is this person that you're selling to? And you can even give them a face to, it's like, okay, it's just helpful to have somebody in mind when you're doing your marketing, okay? So then we get into like, what we call pains and gains. So, I'm just gonna kind of move quickly here. I'm gonna say they're probably like, they're bored. Depending on your business, you might have a lot of pain as a thing, or like a coffee shop, maybe it's probably like, you're not really solving a pain as much as like a gain, right? What do they want? They want, a relaxing cup of tea, or, they want some energy, that kind of thing. So it depends on what your business is. So we're gonna say like, oh, maybe you have like better systems and a direction and plan to follow. They want more fun. I don't know if anything else is, they probably want something new, more confidence.
Yep.
So we're gonna go through here. And then generally, like, again, adjectives to describe your clients.
They're results driven, they're risk takers. They are usually very family focused.
Sorry, wrong one. Yes. What was
Yeah,
it?
if you're risk averse, you
Yeah,
got no
yeah.
business Yep, family focused, they're adventurous. Usually a lot of disposable income,
Sure,
even, even running a cheap racing program is not cheap.
yeah,
When you're 11 to 18.
yeah, exactly, your
Yeah.
parents' disposable income. Okay, so we'll go with that. What's most important? Probably risk takers.
I would say, probably probably results driven,
Okay,
because the reason that people show up to my league is they want to be better.
okay. I'm gonna just fill this out quickly. Okay. So it gets really into the details here. The more you can do this, as you've ever, if you're trying to build a business, market your business, the more you can answer these questions, the better off you're gonna be. And this is just, some of these is just like a place to keep it in one spot where you're like, I need to come back to that. Like what, what do they like? What is their worldview? What websites do they go to? What social media platforms are they on? Where would they want to who would they want to review from? So these are all things I encourage you to do. What other brands do they care about, etc. Okay, so we're gonna pull this all together because it's gonna help you write a unique value proposition. So this is your ideal client. So the first part of the sentence is a group of people, and then the second part starts with the word who. So these are some examples. It could be people who live in Waterville, racers who want to improve, etc.
I would say aspiring racers who live in New England.
Okay. Great. Okay, so the ideal clients for New England Karting Challenge are aspiring racers who live in New England. Great. Okay. So, this is where you can go and create a second ideal client profile if you'd like. You can also get the report sent to you. Again, you're gonna create, this is what you're gonna come back with when it's all full out. My goodness. There we go. So, you have the ability to put all of this information into this very visual format. This is great to hey, if you're gonna work with a marketing firm, like somebody's gonna do your social media, well, print this page out and this is everything in one spot for you. The other thing now, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get recommendations on words to use and words to avoid. And this one, let me do a different one because that one didn't have any words to avoid. Okay, depending again on how you answer the question, some people are very in tune with what you said your product is like and who your ideal clients are. There's a few things that, and this one is their best value, low cost. Those often are not the best things to lead with, right? Because it's not really what your client has said, potential client has said is most important to them. They want fun, they want excitement, they want mentoring, right? So the fact that it's lower cost, that's okay, but I wouldn't lead with that. So this is obviously a different business, but you'll get recommendations, and there's usually a lot in the middle that are fine. They're fine to use, but these are the ones based on your client and what you've said about your business. These are the things you should stress. So, on this one, it's like the best materials. This is like a eco-friendly, non-plastic cup. This is a travel thing that's also focused on sustainability. So exceptional service. So it depends. It's going to tell you, again, it's okay to use the ones that are gray. It's just they're not going to be as impactful for your ideal client. And then you're also going to come up with some messages here. So it's going to recommend, again, based on what you say about your client, what you said about your business, this is what they want to know. So for example, I bet this one probably is going to come up for you, show excitement and energy. Like how do you need to convey how exciting and energetic this is, that sort of makes sense. Same thing with, be fun. So there's different recommendations that may come up. And when we get into back to the workbook, it's going to help you write those messages. So I know we're going kind of long, so I can either keep going or I can answer questions.
What do you guys wanna do?
Don't all jump at once.
Questions, I think, maybe.
Yeah, and I can jump around and
So
pull stuff.
$49, you have access to this, like always.
Yep, exactly. And the part that we are, I'll jump ahead to start showing you, like, the next thing you're gonna get into is the writing. So this is like, I'm just gonna write something for you. So New England Karting Challenge helps you, race faster and safer. I'm just gonna say that for now. I know that's not necessarily what you said, but
Pretty close.
okay, good. So this is the next thing it's gonna do, is put things together into a unique value proposition for you and those key messages. And it gives you all these prompts to make it easy. Because what I found is that if you haven't heard about a unique value proposition, the idea is like, what is your product or service? Who are you serving? What is the value you bring to that group that you're serving? And that sounds so easy to do, but people get like just mumbo jumbo and they can't say it succinctly. This is gonna help you say that in one sentence. So even right out of the gate, New England Karting Challenge is go-kart racing that helps aspiring racers who live in New England race faster and safer. It's like, whoa, that's one sentence, that's legible. If you keep going, it's gonna go through some other options of how you can change this. Like maybe for your website, you wanna say, wanna race faster and safer? This is for aspiring racers who live in New England, that kind of thing. So it's gonna walk you through different ways you can customize it and use it. And then again, it's gonna help you write those messages. We saw that thing about how to be fun and efficient. It's gonna show you how to do that and examples of it. So let's turn over to questions. Does that sound good?
Can you go back in after and tweak it a little bit if you?
Absolutely. Yep.
Still.
Yep, so he will have a link and you can just go back and you can go and do the workbook as much as you want. You can generate new recommendations as much as you want. Yeah.
Curious, your opinion on any particular Maine brands or Maine branding identities that you think are particularly strong, in the state, so why?
How about Maine Marathon? Because we did that one. Maine Marathon, that race has been going on for more than 30 years. And we started working, it's been about 6 years now. And when they came to us, if you've ever seen their shirts, they were pretty ugly. I'll show you, I'll bring it up. So this was their logo before. It's just like a hodgepodge of a bunch of things. And so an issue was they really didn't know why people chose their race. That was the biggest thing, is that we helped them with this, you can see this strategy and positioning. We interviewed, they have about 25 captains of the race that run the race, and then we surveyed past runners. And their number one thing, there were two things that everybody loved about the race. One is just the location and the beauty of the course. And the second one is the fact that they give so much back to charities. They've given more than something, it's like crazy. It's like $5 million now over the past 30 years. Like some races give like, $5,000 a year. They're giving hundreds of thousands of dollars. So anyway, we really refined their visual identity to capture the beauty of the race. And then all of the communications just always reinforce. If you do this race, you're automatically giving to charity. Even if you don't have to do a fundraising thing, just by running the race, you're giving to charity. And then you can choose to fundraise above it. So yeah, it's been really successful.
Can you expand on that just a little bit on how you went about determining that? It's like, I guess, a very formal customer discovery on behalf of the client. But
Yeah. So, we used a lot of things that I use for branding compass, quite honestly, like, because we want to be, there's a lot of data when you get this. I don't know if we have it. I guess I don't have it on here. I thought we did. We created surveys for both the past runners and these team captains. And we used a lot of those same things, like choose some words and then, but what we have the ability to do is if, you know, with branding compass, it's like you doing one thing, but when we work with our clients at Visible Logic, we take some of those same tools and then we run reports. It's like, you know what? All of you are saying this about the brand, but these other things, like some people say yes, some people say no, whatever. So that's how we get those answers, is to, mostly through surveys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you talk about some classic mistakes people make with branding.
Sure. So, I think the most classic one is everyone's like, hey, I've got a new business, so I need a logo. That's like the first thing I need to do. And it's just not the first thing you should do with your brand. Like, you should answer all these questions. So first of all, like, if you have all these answers in these reports, no, you don't have a logo, but you could just, for example, choose one of those fonts and choose a color and ask somebody to make that into like a graphic so that it's, you know, still you use it like a logo. So you know, for $49 and asking somebody to do that, or even doing it yourself in Canva, and just use that, just use like a word mark logo. And then if you find, you know, a year, 2, 3 years later, things are going really well, then I think it's almost always, it's okay to like tweak and adjust and reinvest in your actual visual identity. You know, because like Jim is saying, he's already done everything. Now, having said that, the two examples, a coffee shop and something like your business, it's more important to get the branding right from the start, but like a professional services company especially, just wait, just do something simple and just, don't feel like you need a symbol for your logo.
Pretty minimal, so. Curious, so the model looks pretty sophisticated, and I assume it's based on like how you do what you're doing in person with people. And I'm curious about how you guys got the model, you know, how you can describe it, whoever developed the software, you know, and if it's from some other school of philosophy.
Sure.
Brand.
Yeah, so, there's no AI, just so you know, maybe there will be someday in the future. Right now, if you do get a report, it will help you use the findings to use ChatGPT to write your text, but there's nothing AI driven. So, yeah, so we build websites at Visible Logic. So I built most of the front end. I really built all the front end. And by that, I mean this marketing site as well as the platform itself. I found a tool, a survey tool, and then I just like continued to hack it and hack it and hack it. And then I built out this huge database of recommendations and design advice and brand advice, and that lives in this giant database. And then I built out these reports. Initially, again, I'm a designer, so I built it in InDesign, and I was like, so when I was going through, like, I think when I was doing Top Gun, it was like, okay, somebody answers the thing. I'm like, we'll send you a report back in like 2 to 3 days. And then I would like do all the pieces in InDesign and save it as a PDF and email it back to them. And then I hired a developer who stitched that all together for me. So then it's like, okay, the person submits this online and it reads these answers into the database and it pulls it into an HTML file that gets converted to a PDF. So is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Maybe just piggybacking up, Emily, and thank you so much. That was a wonderful demonstration of the product. Can you touch on your origin story and kind of, how you got to where you are and a little bit of that biography?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said at the beginning, I've owned Visible Logic for more than 20 years. And, in 2016, I was accepted to the 10,000 Small Businesses Program, which I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's geared towards helping business owners. You have to have already been in business at least 2 years, and you have to have like, I think 100 or 150K in revenue and a couple employees, and I like barely gone in. And then it's a 12-week, really immersive program to help you better understand your business. And they have 2 things they want you to do in that. One is shore up your current business to be, you know, run better systems, more profitable, et cetera. And then they want you to identify an opportunity to somehow expand your business. And if you go through it, it's great. It's like Babson, down outside of Boston, they developed all the curriculum for it, and if you get in, it's free. Goldman Sachs pays your way, so yay. So that was really a changing point in my business where I got a lot better about running Visible Logic, but I recognized, I remember sitting in this room with all of the, 200 businesses, all of them. So again, they've reached this point, like you have to have been in business two years and at least 100, 150K in business. So you're like, these people have got businesses. Some of them had like multi-million-dollar businesses. And I would say 10% had invested in their branding. And it's kind of this like, oh, what kind of business am I in that I thought like, I had everybody invest in their branding, but they don't. And when I talk to them, it's just because they're like, well, I hired somebody to do my logo and I wasted like $5,000 and I didn't like it. And they still couldn't talk clearly about their business. That was actually the first thing I was like, I'm going to write a software to help you write a unique value proposition. That was the first thing I started with. And then I just thought, gosh, people just make these disconnects. Like they'll say, well, I love the Apple website, so I should have a website like Apple. It's like, but that's like a consumer brand and they're very minimal and you're running like a daycare or whatever, it doesn't make sense. So I just felt like there was this opportunity to bring this stuff where I always felt like if somebody could just sit down with me for an hour, I could just get them straight and going on the right path here. So that was the thought behind it. And yeah, very much like I said, this whole like manual prototyping at the beginning, pasting everything together, and then just iterating, and making it more and more, automated. I've gotten several grants from MTI to help pay for that. And yeah, went through Top Gun. That was also a big help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, nice to see you again.
Yeah.
I think it's probably been 2 years since I used private business, went through my business, and I thought that the ideal client profile seemed a lot more robust than it was a while ago, so I think it's really great, I think, and you're like iterating through and developing. Do you have more things on the horizon that you're kind of developing, or people making recommendations that you're thinking about?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is we just released an agency license, so that's a big one. So, so a group like Dirigo Labs, for example, could like buy a license and then they could have up to 50 clients go through. That's also like, because we do have some people who are marketing firms, for example. I don't know if any of you do that, but it's like, if these are the kinds of questions you need your clients to answer, why not have them do it on their own for $49 and really think about it, rather than so many business, like small marketing firms are wasting so many hours up front getting this from or business coaches also, those are really common uses. So that's brand new. The big thing I want to do is it's still a little like, it's clunky in terms of like getting the report. Sometimes it's useful to have the PDF, but many people are like, I just want to see it on screen and just keep doing it on screen. So that's where I want to go next. Yeah,
I might wanna talk to you about the agency license.
great. Good.
So with the agency license, like, then who owns that? The agency or the business? Does it transfer over to them that they're marketing and they go back in and?
Yeah, you can, again, because it's really tied to your email address, you could either have it go to you and then you kind of manage the process if you want to be like, hey, you just tell me, and they don't even have to know that you're using this, and you could be like, these are fonts and colors I recommend. Or you can be like, I have this thing, here's a link, go use it on your own, and then come back with your report. So you can do it either, those would be the two ways to use it.
I guess like you've been a business owner for a while, and then with this venture, I guess, how has being an entrepreneur and like going through this process yourself, like impacted how you work with like your clients, or like you see the, like being on the other end, I guess?
Yeah, so couple things there. We, you know, one of the things, one of the reasons I wanted to develop this was because Visible Logic is obviously a business that's very like, you know, time for money kind of situation. So this is more scalable. But I wouldn't say like, I haven't given up Visible Logic yet, so, but, you know, it's continuing to grow. So, and my biggest thing is that because Visible Logic continues to be the larger revenue driver, that's where my focus is. And this has always been like, I can't do as much as I want with this. But we have started to use Branding Compass with some of our clients that it just becomes a differentiator for Visible Logic. Hey, if you want to come work with us, we're like the people who invented the software, and we have this tool that you can use. And definitely, it makes, you know, the price, we're a pretty expensive boutique firm, and this just allows us to do some, especially websites for smaller businesses where it would just be difficult for us to do. So that become paid, and that's what, so we do it, we're like, you go fill it out. Sometimes we do it that way, or sometimes we just sit in, but it's like in an hour, we can go through everything and get everything we need. So those are the two, that's how we've integrated it.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. When I see $49, I think it's too good to be true. The reason you didn't do like $8 a month, because I feel like that's a lot of value. I keep going in and editing, right?
Yeah, so it's $49 one time. And I didn't do $8 a month, because I don't want people to cancel it after 1 month. Is that what you're asking? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just, is that a
Yeah.
Your point, really do cancel?
I don't know, you know, the agency is a monthly. Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We've been playing around with the pricing a lot because we decided to do this agency license, so, we've sold it at $99, $79, $279, $49.
For $50, you got unlimited edits.
Yeah, but just one business, that's the big thing, so, yeah, yeah.
There's no catch, nothing.
There's no catch, and, you know, no, but the only thing is that so, yeah, pricing is really challenging, right? Like, everyone realizes pricing is challenging. So we just released this $49 pricing the past month, but sales have definitely increased. So we think maybe that was yeah, maybe this is the right price, like $99 for, you know, it's like we're more than twice as many sales. So, okay, so maybe that, you know, there's not really a cost for me. So, yeah.
How do you like, is market and this isn't fully formed, I'll get there, but like, how do you, as like a product that revolves around like, or service that revolves around like marketing and branding, how do you approach marketing and branding a marketing and branding thing, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there.
We
We've,
got there.
we've gone pretty hard on like, we have a really robust blog and we just, all during these iterations, I was like, okay, just keep cranking out the blogs, keep cranking out the blogs. So the majority of our traffic comes through the blogs, they're keyword focused, et cetera. We have done some pay-per-click and it's tough with a cost product to do pay-per-click. So I would say that's why we keep pausing it because it's not as successful as I would like. And then the biggest thing I'll set, so I don't know, it's probably not gonna, if you go to the site, it pops up with this like, do this 7-day, branding little e-course. That's our biggest converter. So, yeah.
Is it video driven?
No, it's like a series of emails, basically.
Oh.
Yeah,
Jim had 2 different target targets.
Yep.
Pages. Can you have more than 2?
it just does 2. Yeah. You can buy a second one.
Colors over here.
Yeah.
Or you could get the agency.
For yourself.
Thank you very much. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have business cards and I have stickers, if anybody would like one.
Well, thank you, Emily, for coming and presenting. This has been
Coming all the
fantastic.
way from Quebec City.
From Quebec City. And Jim, I'm very excited to unpack your branding report, which will come to my email as I was doing it online, for all of you to see on
I know,
YouTube, which
it's-
this conversation has been recorded. So I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to the Harold Alpine Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College, Valley Beverage, and Bricks Co-working and Innovation Space. Have a wonderful rest of your week.